How Long Gone, Chris Black, a beautiful day in New York. Jason, the temperatures are rising slightly. There's light at the end of the tunnel. It's good to be back. How are you feeling? I mean, I feel terrible, but how are you feeling?
Somehow, some way, I don't feel bad at all, and I don't know how. I mean, it could be the business class lay flat to and from, but otherwise, this is the first, pretty gnarly travel situation where I feel almost, I'm like 90%.
I think maybe because it's so psychedelic from LA. Like the time, it's like almost, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's like it's so different. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's a little closer, it's easier. But no, I'm happy. I mean, I feel okay, but I pushed it a little bit yesterday by going to the gym and then to see a show and then getting up today and going to the gym again. So that's probably on me.
Double? Wow. Okay. So how many gyms have you done in 24 hours?
2.
Okay.
But nothing crazy. I mean, light. I'm not going hard. There's no, PRs being put up, but.
Hey, what else is new?
Exactly. It's another day that ends in Y for me. But just it's the only thing that gets the yaya. I have to do it.
Right.
Or I think I feel worse, which I don't. I've never tested the theory, but it's good to be back.
Okay. Because I get home, I'm able to roll up New Jack City, which is a great strain, that one of my strains I have, or maybe, something Hezbollah 4.0.
Hold on 1 second, though. Let's not keep it. We need to keep it a buck. You ain't rolling shit, first and foremost. You're smoking it, but you ain't rolling.
That's false. Your boy's been rolling lately because the How Long Gone pre-rolls have obviously sold out. Far ahead of projected sales schedule goals. 2.0 is in the works right now, so I'm testing terps. I'm testing new flavor combos. New shit is on the market.
Could we just do? I have a question. As I know times have changed in the smoking community, but could we just do How Long Gone Sour Diesel? Like, can we just bring it back to some real shit for our heads out there? Because all this newfangled shit, it's too scientific. I think just some classic New York style sour diesel. I think we could not that it's left the market, but I think it could be reintroduced, repackaged, reframed.
People love
what I mean?
New York style marijuana. All the outdoor grow farms of Manhattan over the centuries have just been so legendary, shitting on Northern California and other parts of the world. We do need to return to good New York City marijuana, right?
I'm not saying that it was grown here. I'm saying it was made here. How
do you make weed without growing it, huh?
I'm just saying you make it. It's like most things. It's just a simple exercise in branding.
Oh, you're saying so? It's made in Cali. It's grown in Cali, but it's made on Madison Avenue.
Exactly. As people, local New Yorkers say, I grew here, you flew here. You know what I mean? The weed flew here, but it grew here. As far as as far as its relevance in the weed smoking community.
Sure.
But I don't look. Obviously I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have this L if you want to hold it, or I can give it to you later, just however you want to do it. I mean, we don't have time to kind of handle all the super tight details.
I can't give you the L paperwork right now. My lawyer's off.
Yeah, it's Sunday and the whole daylight thing kind of threw her off. Yeah, my lawyer is a woman. No, so you're saying, which is the classic old head. Back in my day, a dime bag cost a dime, and I think there was they did some High Times posted the top 40 weed strains of the 70s or something like that, back when it was Thai Stick and Maui Wowie and things that.
Yeah.
So you're saying that's too far back in the annals of chronic times, and you want to return to something involving the 2001 to 2009 era, the naughty oddies of dank consumption.
Yeah, because when I used to buy weed in New York, you would text the number, the guy would show up, and he would have a Pelican style case. And
wow, another millennial take.
Exactly,
everything in a Pelican.
Exactly, he'd have all the little jars, and they would have labels on them with names, and they would always change and rotate and blah blah blah. But the one that was always there, the one that was holding it down in the Pelican every week, was Sour Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a mainstay. It seems like a tent pole of the whole operation. But has been neglected because now everybody, like you said,
what the fuck do you know, sober ass? You don't know shit.
I don't know shit, but I know that if it worked then, it probably worked now. But there's part of.
Okay, I pulled up. There's a website called Stoops NYC, and
of course there is.
They have a must-try strain of 2026, the AJ Sour Diesel strain. Sour Diesel, one of the most iconic strains in cannabis culture. Its story is rooted deep in New York's underground scene.
See? That's me, bro.
Making it a favorite for generations of connoisseurs. Okay.
See? I know it's not.
I wonder who wrote this website. Oh, yeah. Stoops NYC thinks it's a big part of NYC. Wow. What do you know?
Hey, look, relax, bro. You know that's some graffiti writer for sure. There's no question.
Sure. Okay.
But I didn't know they were still ideating.
No, it's true. You are correct. The 90s Sour Diesel culture, it was huge in New York, not just Cali.
No, but I was thinking about that the other day because I heard somebody walking down the street last night. I thought about it last night because I was walking down the street and a guy was like, basically retelling a story to his friend about how like a guy was explaining Sour Diesel to him, but prefaced it with "You might be too young for this." And I was like, "Damn, is it really that old head of a thing?" But I guess maybe it is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all like we were saying before. That is our Sour Diesel, the Thai stick, the sweet Chiba, the whatever,
Yeah.
They probably just had weed called like Larry when that shit was first coming out,
Sure.
And it's going to be passed down from generation to generation. But yeah, I mean, I was, so all that is to say, yes, I've been rolling up, and yes, my joint rolling is starting to get low-key nice with it.
Are you using a helper, or are you just using those big fingers of yours?
I'm using my big fingers, no helper. I got my papers. The papers come on like a rolling, kind of like a wrapping paper roll.
Yeah.
Give it a snip. That has a little filter that you roll up and just twist up that filter.
Filters for pussies. Go ahead.
Really?
No, bro. Come on, bro. It's just shit like that is just unnecessary. I know sometimes it can make it easier to smoke. I was more of a blunt expert than a joint roller, so it's got a bigger hole opening.
I'm pretty sure in 2026, the amount of people who are anti-filter, there's not very many anti-filter.
Well, that's
people.
what
it's not a filter.
Well, that's because I think that's because the pre-rolls come with them, and so that's what people now expect. You know what I mean? Like that's sort of the standard has changed a little bit, is what I would imagine.
I love a sober motherfucker telling me about drugs.
I mean, I don't mean to boast or brag or make myself look stupid, but I think you could.
I know.
You could probably keep smoking weed for another 10 years, and I've still got you. And I've been off for 10 years.
You've been off, and a lot can change.
That's true. No, of course.
I feel like I'm too Hollis. I got Tortoise over here telling me how to make dubstep. I'm like, okay, sit down, Grandpa.
Did you see that tweet that said "Two Hollis looks like"? And I can't remember what it was. I think it said raw fish. There was something. It's so stupid. I can't remember what it was.
To me, he looks like an 80s hair metal video vixen. Like he would be busting his pussy open on a Whitesnake video.
No, it wasn't another. It was not a human being that they said he looked like. It was an animal or like a.
Oh, okay.
Or
raw fish, just
or
of
an
any
inanimate
sort.
object. It was not a person, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I cannot remember what it was.
Motherfucker looked like a soccer jersey. It could be, he looks like a webcam.
Who's got the new?
Boy, you look
this
like a
motherfucker
webcam.
looks like a damn webcam. All right, what came out though? Did Netspend come out? Because I saw that Paris Hilton was complimenting his new album.
When you say come out, what do you mean? I mean, all these guys are gay, but are you talking about drop new shit?
No. I mean, come out. I'm sorry, new music. There's a new Netspend album. Is that fair or a new single?
I think there's a new album in the works. Yes.
Okay, because I saw there's
Lean Gut Span has new shit on the way.
It's crazy these guys can get lean guts this early, this young. Like if you're under 30, you shouldn't be physically. You should not. Your body should not be able to produce a lean gut, even a small one, to stretch out the Gucci boxer briefs like that.
It makes you wonder if Netspend's parents were abusing lean during pregnancy, and it's one of those things.
He's waterlogged with lean. He can't get off it. That's honestly, that could be true. I don't know what his parents are up to. But the thing about Netspend is that his parents have like corporate jobs. There's no way Netspend ever got it out the mud in any way.
Both
shape,
of
or form.
Netspend's parents are college professors in Connecticut. 1,000%.
Exactly.
I was thinking about lean this morning about how even though like the amount of promethazine use seems to have gone down since its heyday, like it's still around and people are still using it, but I don't think it's as prominent. I think it's harder to get, and it's more expensive and more rare, so it's only being abused by some of the big spenders in the game. But I think the culture and the act of the process of the lean, the pouring it and the purple and it mixes and it's all pretty. To me, it's just male Stanley Cup drink culture.
Yeah,
It's the same. It has the same energy, just reskinned to have a little more of a hard edge. But still, it's ultimately a human adult child who needs candy to drink their water.
Until you've dumped some of that purple stuff inside of a Sprite and turned it upside down to make it go lava lamp mode. I don't know if you've seen true beauty. You know, I've seen some of the finest paintings ever created, and I still say a 2-liter, dumped upside down, the way that oil and water mix is,
of course,
it is one of the most beautiful sights a human can see.
It is breathtaking. It is. I will agree.
Breathtaking.
It is breathtaking, but it's odd that something that's such a simple.
Well, I never
reaction of colors has captivated our nation's youth.
I just don't understand. I don't understand cutting stuff, really. That's my issue with it. Like, just take a sip of lean out of the bottle. You don't get all that sugar. It's already you're already going to get the lean gut is mostly Sprite, Jason. I think that's what we're forgetting.
Wow, you just said the quiet part out loud.
I don't mean to out. I would never come for Big Coca-Cola, my hometown corporation, one of my favorites. But if we're keeping it a buck, if you're just sipping lean like it's prescribed by the doctor, you'd still get fucked up. But you can't walk around with the double cup, and that's really why people are doing it.
Okay, what's scare? Wanting to have your lean be made with Sprite Zero, or feeling the need to make your yummy drink purple? You know what I mean? Like it's a sort of it's an even battle.
Sprite Zero is crazy. Sprite Zero, mixing up the Sprite Zero is crazy. Even if you're Drake, like that's too crazy.
Well, I mean, abs are made in the lean kitchen, as they say, Chris.
Yeah, Lean Kitchen, one of my favorite ghost kitchen delivery places in LA.
Guts are made on the soda fountain. Yeah, so we've had some loco travel. I guess 72 hours. 24 of those for me were in flight, but somehow, like you were saying, I think just depending on where you're flying from and to, and what direction and what time of day, you can it's almost as if like when you see somebody walking up an escalator that's going down and they sort of arrive at the same time as their friend who's doing it the regular way. It really is like cutting a hole in space and time continuum for me to just get on a plane at 1 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon, 11-hour flight, and I land Saturday afternoon on the other side of the world, and everything is just normal again.
I mean,
I'm loving it.
I'm loving it. Hopefully you don't crash, because this has happened to me before too, where I get a little cocky, and then something happens. I'm like, I felt pretty bad the whole. I don't know what happened this trip. Something was off because I felt bad the whole time. Like I never really felt right.
Was it you had higher hopes for Balenciaga?
No.
I just
my physical body, not my mental. My mental state is always bad. My physical body, but I did go. I
felt fine until I saw Lil Yachty pull out Uno cards at dinner, and then I had to take a knee. I had to sit down.
I'll never understand the fascination with games in adults, especially. I mean, whatever. I'd rather watch them play cards.
Not everyone has our gift of gab. Our love of conversation?
Would you rather Lil Yachty pull up to the freestyle and just say, you know what, we're going to play Uno instead, or spit bars? That's the real question.
Do we want to hear him drop his on the radar freestyle, or do we want to just watch him quietly play Uno with his friends? Which one's going to be more damaging to the eyes and ears and senses?
I would let him.
Tough call.
I would like him but he can play cards loudly with his friends. Okay. They don't even have to be quiet. And I'm still going with that. I bet those guys talking while they play cards is funnier and more entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I guess we should be wanting Lil Yachty to do anything but perform music.
I mean, he's great. Everything about him except the music is great.
Yeah, one of our nation's worst rappers, but he somehow is doing well, and he's successful and cool and charming and fun. It's sort of the lyricism itself is.
I would rather
not really necessary.
I would rather Lil Yachty be beloved and famous than 99% of rappers that take themselves too seriously or don't. You know what I mean? I guess all rappers are just podcasters now, which is infringing on our territory, of course. But it's a strange.
Period.
But it's cool because I think that they come from a shit talking culture, and I think it's actually the perfect job. Like I think it's the perfect job for a rapper that's sort of, a little too old to be doing it. I think the reason they all do it is because it's actually what they're great at. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how they're thriving.
Speaking of rappers who are awesome people and personalities but don't need to listen to the music, I was cleaning up some old screenshots and things on my phone, as I will do on the plane. Found a Vince Staples tweet from 10 years ago the photo. Remember the photo of Kobe Bryant where he was wearing like the all white look? He kind of looks like Iman.
Oh yeah. That's a classic photo.
Classic one. So Vince Staples tweeted that portrait of him 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, like April 2016, almost exactly 10 years. Here's the tweet with that photo attached to it, tagging at Kobe Bryant at Lakers. I've hated you my whole life. Thanks for the memories, little bitch.
I've hated you my whole life. I mean, Vince Staples is a national treasure. I mean, I'm not like tuning in for his.
I'm just saying it takes chutzpah to call Kobe Bryant a little bitch, after he dies in an untimely, awful death.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I think that if my enemy dies, I'm still going to call him a bitch. Like, that's not, I get where he's coming from.
That's true.
I get where you're still a bitch, dead or alive.
Yeah.
Dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
But what is Vince Staples doing? He's doing like a variety show sponsored by Taco Bell.
He's doing the Live Más Taco Bell variety show hour.
That check must, oh my God. I can't even imagine what he's getting paid for.
What do you, I mean, what? 300? What do you think it is?
At least, depending on how much work he has to do for the cure, because the curation is loco, like it's insane.
Okay, I got it pulled up. This is happening
soon.
When this episode comes out, this will be tomorrow. This is happening streaming live on Peacock March 10th. It's the Taco Bell Live Más live at the Palladium. So it's really coming back to the Live Más era of, I guess that was 20 years ago almost with...
We're back.
The reality television kind of extreme sports, Live Más energy.
What's your guy's name? Travis Pastrana?
Yeah, he was living Moss in the Red Bull 900 vert suite at the snowboard hang gliding competition. Okay, so we got teased this image, and I was like, oh, Night of the Palladium. It's a variety show hosted by Vince Staples in Los Angeles, his hometown.
Hey, cuz
hopes aren't high, but he's known as being
pretty high. Actually, they're pretty high.
He's a funny guy. He's got good taste. He knows right from wrong. I'm thinking he's going to get these amazing comedians and weird performers and good musicians and like some real shit that I could be interested in viewing. Okay, and then the lineup was released. First artist performing is Benson Boone.
All right, look. I'm gonna say with 99% certainty that Vince Staples did not choose Benson Boone to perform,
but as somebody who I believe has integrity and respect for themselves,
Jason, you don't have that much integrity.
I would push back.
You don't have that. You would not push back. If we were getting paid that much money, you'd be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Benson Boone, come play 2 songs, whatever. Also, there's a chance that Vince Staples is able to slyly make fun of Benson Boone in a way that will be palatable for Benson and us or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yes. Okay, the next performer at the Live Más event is Davante Adams, who is a 33-year-old wide receiver.
Okay, so Davante's
going to run Los Angeles Rams.
He's going to run some filthy routes out there for us just on stage. Like, what are we going to do? What is okay? All right, maybe he's dabbling in comedy or some other kind of performance. I'm not going to.
I mean, he's been working on this juggling routine. Okay. He's got the unicycle out. He's juggling. He's eating cigarettes.
Excellent.
He's doing the whole thing.
Okay, he's eating cigarettes.
Yeah. His balloon art, his off-season balloon art is really taking off. Okay,
it's coming together.
Next up, DJ Pee Wee, who I believe is Anderson .Paak.
Oh, okay. I found out recently that Anderson, because he told a story about getting put on to Ken Carson by his son, and Anderson .Paak has like a grown son. Like his son's like 17. I'm like, I thought Anderson .Paak was 30. I was just stunned by that. I had no idea. I have no idea how old he is. He looks good. Anderson .Paak looks good. So maybe he is older and just looks good. But I was stunned.
Anderson .Paak, his name is Soul Rashid.
That's okay. You can't name your kid Soul. Okay, you can't do that. All right, who's next on Vince's lineup?
It's sneaking in there at the bottom, Doja Cat.
It's crazy.
Who should be headlining the whole thing?
I mean, Doja's fallen off a little bit, but you can't. I mean, that does seem like fucked up billing.
Doja when she performs in LA, she's selling out SoFi, and this is at the Palladium, so it seems like an odd thing. Next up, Fernando Mendoza, who is a 22-year-old quarterback for the Raiders.
Okay, so I see what they're doing here. They're just they're just trying to spread it out, touch all the interest areas. I can't even blame them because I don't know who these guys are, but I'm sure they're wildly popular. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know what they're gonna do.
Oh, sorry. He's not. The Raiders are expected to sign him. He's still.
Oh, he's a college athlete.
In Indiana Hoosiers.
Okay,
yeah.
he
was
Hoosier.
born in 2003.
Okay, got it. Well, I kind of understand what I look. These are not choices I would make, Jason, but I understand.
So he's gonna kill it up there on the Live Más variety show stage.
He really might though. I mean, he really might, depending on how young the crowd is. Okay, this is. I gotta say, I remember reading this when this like first came out, and this is somehow more twisted than I remember it being.
Yeah, and I don't know. And then there's a Puerto Rican rapper named Mike Towers. Mike spelled with a Y. He's a 32-year-old Puerto Rican artist.
Okay.
His genre is Argentinian trap.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
Shit.
me gusta trap. And then of course Yeet at the bottom, white chocolate at the bottom. Yeah.
The goat, the real goat.
Yeet on the pod when. I know all of your Jewish managers listen to this shit. Let's make it happen.
Do you think Yeet can put together a sentence though? Real talk. No offense, Zach Villa, but can Yeet put together a sentence?
If he has like a guy holding up, he's got the sticks inside the sleeve of his Supreme
Shout out
leather
to-
jacket. He's
shout out
moving
to
his arms around for him.
Our Field Trip Records family, but okay. I think what they're doing over there at Taco Bell is really trying to touch all of the youth markets, which it could be a situation where maybe it kind of works, and it could be a situation where it's you can't be everything to everyone. And we can the only way to find out is to live stream tomorrow night on Peacock.
Yeah, and I will never go to Taco Bell. I was mourning I used to like Taco Bell.
Jason?
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I lost you. You there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's so weird. You just went totally blank.
Oh, well, yeah, it's windy over here in LA, so I always get worried about the Wi-Fi and the electricity when it gets to blowing over here. But yeah, I guess speaking of Taco Bell and variety shows, there's just a little correction from a previous episode about the.
Here we go.
I was talking about the BET Awards.
Yeah.
And I learned afterwards that it was in fact the NAACP. When I was talking about somebody was making a statement about if the guy with Tourette's syndrome screams the N-word in this room.
It was the NAACP awards that were aired on BET.
Yes. So I watched the clip. There was a video, and in the corner of it, a giant BET logo. Everyone's wearing tuxedos on a stage. I made the assumption thinking it was the BET Awards and not the NAACP Awards.
See, the reason you made the mistake is because you should know that no one wears a tuxedo at the BET Awards. So that is the main differentiator. Literally, that's not.
Wow,
it's like
I'm glad that we got an apology and a double down all in the same. That's the beauty of our 1-2 punch.
It's like a VMAs versus
course,
you know what I mean.
course,
It's just like they're wearing Balenci, like you said. Like it's just a different thing.
Regardless of race, we're wearing a purple leather studded jacket and
this is
some
not-
we're wearing some crazy shit. It's
actually my friend made this.
We're not wearing tips
My
and tails.
friend made this for me. He's actually an up and coming designer. Is the vibe of the
Oh,
whole.
your designs are fire. Are you like a creative?
Your designs are fire. Oh, but that is a mistake on your part. And I would like to say to the person who tweeted at only me, Jason is the one who said all of this. I didn't say any of it, and I wasn't even aware of it. So, but I'll take it's fine. We're a team.
Put yourself in that Twitter user's shoes.
I get it.
And you're like,
totally.
they said it on How Long Gone. Gun to my head, who's the one that made I'm gonna go Chris Black too. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's fine. I just want to be clear that it was for once. It wasn't me. For once, it wasn't me. But I'm glad.
Don't do that for once, shit right now, Chris. I don't have the patience for it.
I'm glad that we've corrected it on the record here.
Yeah.
It's important. It's important to know when you're wrong.
That's right, brother. Okay. What? Yeah. Somebody also sent me a message on Instagram. Not a correction, more of just a plead. So this is from somebody who I'm not going to say the name of. Hear me out. Some food for thought. I'm a woman in my early 30s, and I have some advice.
I'm out.
I have some advice for my male peers that I want you to discuss on your podcast. The boys need to know about Viagra. I was recently on a trip with my bi best friend.
I'm really out now. Bi male. You're saying she has a male friend who's bi. We all know that's fake.
It just says all it says is my bi best friend. Didn't say what gender we were talking about. Okay, and we got some over the counter in the UK, not to fuck each other, is what this person clarified with, but just for recreational use. He took some, went to a late night dalliance, and when he returned, he exclaimed, "My dick feels 17 again," and put on the Last Waltz version of Muddy Waters' "I'm a Man." As a woman,
I like that. That's pretty good. That's actually pretty cool.
I wouldn't have read this if it didn't deliver a little bit. Okay. As a woman trying to date chopped and unk men in their mid-30s, something's got to give. Your listeners are a prime demographic for this and need to hear it. I believe the male loneliness epidemic could be solved with this little blue pill. Please use your platform to get the soft boys to start juicing.
Wow, there's so many cool buzzwords in here. I think that I don't think there's any person that listens to this podcast or maybe any podcast that isn't aware of Viagra. I think it's not, you know what I mean? I don't think that's like a, that was a cultural phenomenon.
Well, I think people are aware of it, much like other things that plague the chopped and unk listeners of this podcast. We're all aware of prostate exams, but we may need a little nudging in that direction. We all know about performance-enhancing drugs, but we might have a little.
Yeah, sure.
We might need some clarity.
I think
as well
you can get
as
those, but I think also that
poking and prodding.
I believe that there are probably Viagra alternatives that are available online. You know, like I feel like I get targeted ads every day for any drug I want from a Hims type service.
You can go. Yeah, you can go on Hims or whatever that shit. I'm sure, and just 10 minutes later with the virtual Indian guy AI doctor, and that shit shows up at your house. In 2 days or something.
Yeah, but yeah,
so I think maybe to me it seems like the issue is people may not believe that they are in need of it, or they don't want to have to admit to themselves that they are.
Well, I won't talk about this for one more second until Spicy Cubes or fucking Blue Chew sponsors the show, because these companies have been specifically targeting this demographic that she's talking about for literally the beginning of podcasting. Like, I feel like those are some of the first Blue Chew has been advertising on podcasts for at least 10 years.
Okay, well then
at least
let's hold out for just literal Viagra. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the check I'm looking for. That's the check I'm looking for. None of that
we don't want any of the we don't want any fake shit that they're gonna do on the Adam Friedland show or something. We want the real subsidized, murderous, Pfizer regulated drugs.
Yeah, I want this to be from an evil corporation, not a cool startup. No, that's funny though.
Yeah. I don't want yuzu lychee Viagra gummies.
Exactly. That's literally what. Are these blood orange? Oh, these are so good. Imagine that the Viagra gummies are so good. You eat too many. So like it's a weed gummy. You're bricked up for 2 weeks.
It happened again.
I mean,
I had 11 Tangelo Frog Hollow Farm Viagra gummies. I fucked a hole through a cinder block wall. Goddamn.
Oh my god, I got tennis elbow. That's really, really funny. That's right, because I don't think we're that far off from that. If it doesn't already exist and we're just not aware of it.
Yeah, we are. I mean, I got when I arrived home from Gay Paris, I had a shipment of creatine gummies on the doorstep.
Are they stupid flavors, or is it just sort of like blue, orange, red?
We got sour peach. Sound kind of nice.
Gross. Oh, I'm not a peach guy, to be honest.
You don't want to build lean muscle and improve your recovery as well as cognition with the beautiful flavor of sour peach?
Did you pay for these? Were they free?
I didn't pay for them.
That's what I thought.
I'll give it a taste, and if my dick gets bigger and my traps get stronger and my cognition gets doper,
you'll let me know.
And they pay me $20,000. Well, I'll let you know the brand.
I'm starting to worry though that all this stuff that we do doesn't do anything. I'm really starting to worry.
Oh, wait, are you talking about ad reads?
No.
I'll cut all this right now, bitch.
No. I love ad reads. I'm starting to worry that it's a little bit like, unless it's something extreme. I just wonder. It's starting to get to me. That's like, I take so many pills every day. I don't feel as good as I should, considering how many pills I have to travel around with. I think a shot is a different thing. That's a little more extreme. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that the extreme supplement of it all is like, I don't know. I just don't know.
So it's almost like a miracle cure-all drug that claims you just take a pill and all of your life's problems go away. It might not be truthful and factual?
Well, I wish it was that. It's not even that. It's like 40 pills that sort of help you in different ways.
Okay.
Like if it was one pill that was supposed to do everything, I'd snort it. But if it's going to be, I got to take 50. I got to take a fucking tote bag worth of vitamins everywhere I go all over the world. It's starting to be like, does it really do anything?
Yeah.
I think on some level we know what works, and it's like the shit we're talking. It's like Viagra and Ozempic. That's the shit that actually works. Everything else, it's sort of like, I don't know.
No, I think about this sometimes because it makes you want, like, I think we were talking about this, I don't know, a couple years ago in the pod where I was saying, like, not in any type of woe is me way or my life is awesome way of like, I just want to know what my like pain level is compared to the rest of the world. People, say oh, the female tolerance for pain is much higher than a man because childbirth, but try punching a woman in the face and see what, there's all these arguments about pain. And I'm like, am I in pain? How do I rank on the pain scale with my fellow comrades, my same age, weight, height, sex?
Yeah, that's I would
so
love
like
to...
that same kind of thing. And then you hear people say like, oh, as soon as I started taking 400 milligrams of zinc every Wednesday instead of 300, it changed everything. I'm like, and it makes me wonder like how I feel like I'm in tune with my body, what I'm putting into it, and how it's making me feel more than the average person.
Definitely.
But I'll take one Tylenol, 10 Tylenols.
Yeah, exactly.
One of this pill, 11 of this pill. I feel no different whatsoever. Is it working? Who fucking knows?
This is what I mean. The stuff that works is perks. Like it's like the shit you think works. The other stuff, I mean, I think it's also just like I don't know, man. It's like the Instagram ads. I think it's just like we're all searching for something to make us feel better.
I started taking psyllium husk and my bald spot started growing back, and you just hear all this weird shit all the time. But it's the same thing as like, do I really need to put my seatbelt on the airplane when it's going to crash? Like you can go down the line.
But imagine if they marketed a pill. Imagine if they marketed a pill to women that said it would make your titties bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
like
I watched the substance on the plane.
Do you think a woman would take that? I think she would probably be like, I'll just either get plastic surgery or I won't. I'm not going to take a pill. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like...
I don't know. I mean, unless it was like wildly expensive, I feel like everyone would be more into taking a titty pill than going under the knife.
But the problem is that the pills are getting so expensive and there's no proof that it works. That's the issue. That's what I'm saying. It's like, not that obviously it doesn't compare to a breast augmentation surgery. It's much less than that. But I just mean, once you really start looking at this shit and you're like, wait, how much do I spend a year on fucking like what? Like, it's not cheap. It's not that cheap, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wonder, moving forward, we might have to start having, like, the field of supplement and peptide accountants are going to rise. People who specialize in, drug accounting.
Yeah. I wish I had a drug accountant.
I mean,
maybe I should tell my dad that that's what he should get into as in retirement. Just take on a few clients, just only do their drug budgets. It'll be pretty mellow for you overall.
Imagine your dad calling you asking for help with an accounting question. And he's like, all right, so I got my client here. He's got all these Venmo transactions for ski trip. And I don't know how, I think I know what he means, but I don't know what category,
Just say, if you just have a few minutes, we can hop on Zoom if you got time. Yeah, I don't. All right, so I would like to.
He takes a lot of Big Bear trips.
I want to talk to you about this. We left Paris. It was your first time, and I feel like, as a person who knows you, very well, I feel like you had a really good time, and it kind of warmed my heart.
Oh, it warmed your heart that I was Paris pilled?
Yeah.
Kelly pilled? You think you liked it? Wait till fucking Carolyn
I just was like...
heard that I enjoyed it.
I just was like, I could tell that you liked it. Instantly, I could tell. And usually I'm used to you not liking it. Yeah. So it was a pretty stark difference.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, maybe a lot of it is rooted in the fact that, we were sort of flown out like the fashion princesses that we aren't, and... treated well, and I felt, just riding high off of that endorphin of, business class and car service and hotel where you don't put your credit card down and life is but a dream. All you have to do is put on the Loewe and drink champagne. So it was an easy situation to have a fun time in, but I really did like the city of Paris, how it flowed. I think they were sort of, they weren't smitten with me, but they were tickled by my personality type. the French are kind of like a kooky, not everyone, but the ones that aren't assholes are kind of a kooky, weird, irreverent bunch at their core. And despite the language barrier that I have, me saying fucking "excusez" every time as I'm riding by them on the bicycle instead of "pardon," but I really loved it. Yeah, it was great.
I know. I mean, I probably know 3 French people I like, so I'm glad that you found that many. I've been going there for 10 years, but no, I just, I had a good time. I had a great time too. It's not, I just like, I really find it to be, the way people love it, I've just never been able to relate to, I think is the issue. Of course, it's great. It's beautiful. It's like clean. Everything's, it's a pretty high quality of product across the board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You kind of get all the majesty and romance of a Rome without the just 40 billion of the worst tourists you've ever seen taking it over.
No, go there in July, see what it feels like.
Obviously, there's tourists in Paris as well, huge tourist city, but it just felt different and more spread out and easily avoidable.
Bigger. Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Yeah,
it's like people coming to LA and complaining about the tourism, but they just hang out at the Grove and the Hollywood Walk of Fame or something like that. And everyone who knows, you don't hang out at those places.
No, but I had a good time too. And I mean, even though I feel crazy, it was, I'm glad we went and it was fun. Thank you to the Loewe family. And hopefully we'll be back. I really want those shoes, the men's shoes.
Yeah. The men's shoes that kind of look like the rock climbing shoes.
It's an approach shoe. It's really happening right now.
Yeah. The approach shoe. Yeah. If Loewe, once you get the basketball player sizes in, I like the purple and I like the brown.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Brent Faiyaz doesn't wear a 17. I think he's a regular. I didn't check with Brent, but
yeah, I guess there weren't any ballers there at the show. It was just me. At the top, it's just jeans.
The only ballers at any show now are K-pop stars that we don't recognize. I swear to God, I was talking about this last night. I swear to God, every event of any kind I go to, there is a massive crowd losing their fucking minds for a K-pop star that I don't know anything about. It's starting to make me feel crazy because I know the big ones. I'm not like totally shut off from this. You know what I mean? I know who's who to some extent, but I think because it's such like a factory model, they're just coming out so fast you can't keep up.
Yeah, and there are entire worlds full of superstar Korean acts and performers that you and I will never know.
Of course. No, but
I'm fairly tapped in with the music scene. But I couldn't name a single member of aespa. But
yeah, what I'm saying is there's the ones that don't ever make it out of Korea, but then there's so many that make it to Paris and Milan and New York and London, and I can't keep up with those either. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I thought. I mean, I saw something I've never seen before, which was fascinating to me. Is that so across from us? There was 2 content creators, one with like a cool handy cam vintage vibe,
content spelled with a K,
vintage vibe, video camera, and one with like sort of a not super long lens, but a Nat Geo style, like we're getting the shot,
right.
Giraffe eating, and they were both this the way they show lasted 15 minutes maybe. And they, the entire time, were taking picture and video of their boss, who is some sort of K-pop star, of him watching the show. And so they have 1,000 digital photos and 15 minutes of raw footage of him watching models. It just seemed crazy. It was like, how much of this can you use? Like, you cut in a couple times, but like, what are we talking about?
And these are 2 people that are sitting in the center of the show, taking up very valuable real estate.
Yeah, this could be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's not like these people, because there was a little press corner full of photographers with their lenses shooting all the looks, but these were 2 people that were occupying very prime seating at this prime fashion show.
I think when you get up to this level, you can be like, I need to come with 6 people. And it's like, all right, fuck it, let's go. We'll see you there.
Tell Jim Fallon to kick rocks.
All good. We'll sit. We got seats for you. But yeah, I got back last night, and I went to Equinox, and then I went to go see Cat Power at the at Webster Hall. She was doing The Greatest, which is one of my all time favorites, and I took Nathan Pemberton with me. And as a fellow, he's a guy from Florida. He understands. We were in there.
He's into older ladies too.
We were in like the whatever, that balcony. There's like a balcony on the left that's like the quote unquote VIP balcony, which much like most venues, it's actually a terrible place to watch a show, but it is. I guess it's better, but I whatever.
You don't have to smell the regulars.
The point is, we were looking around. I was like, damn, this is like all of these sort of like baddies that are 4 to 7 years older than us are here. They're just that much older than us, and they all look good. It was just a very certain kind of like Max Fish graduate crowd that I expected, sort of. But then it was like I was talking to Chrissy Miller, and she had all these friends there with her, and I was like, wow, you guys all are just like good-looking 45-year-old women with careers that are happy to see their friend on. I don't know. It was kind of heartwarming in a way. It was heartwarming in a way, because sometimes you go to those shows where the crowd is your peers and you're like, oh man, hell no. Like you try to go see fucking American Nightmare and Indecision at Brooklyn Monarch, and it looks like a fucking plumbing union meeting. This at least looked like this looked like it should look. Like all the Levi's fit right. You know what I mean? It was the right. It was, everything was right. The guys looked cool. Everybody looked good. It was just a nice.
Old bitches winning. Old bitches stay winning.
I just feel like I've been to so much of this stuff in the past couple years, and I'm always like, damn, is this what I look like? And this time I was like, I hope this is what I look like.
They said it's some good pussy under this ex-girl jumpsuit.
You don't want to see what's under here, big boy. But her voice, I couldn't believe it. She sounded so good. Like it was honestly awesome, because I just feel like she has such an iconic singing voice, and if you know it, it really sticks with you. And it's just hard to maintain that after touring for 25 years or whatever. More. She's probably been touring for 40 years.
Very cool that you're able to celebrate this on the eve of International Women's Day. One of the greatest women's, pun intended.
Literally. No, literally.
You should have said that to her. Yo, Cat Power, you're one of the greatest women's out right now.
You're one of the greatest women's out. But yeah, it was. I'm glad I got to go, and I'm glad I got to hear Lived in Bars. I haven't heard that live, since the first tour. So it was fun. But I was just, the whole thing was a really funny exercise for me. And then I had to leave and walk home, and I killed my feet, but that's a whole nother issue.
What shoe did you use? What shoe was it this time, Chris?
See, the problem, this is what I do. I get off the plane. I'm like, you know what? I should wear something comfortable, because I'm going to walk 50 blocks, from my house to Webster Hall. I know how far this is. And then every time I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to put on I put on my Saman Amel boat shoes, which I love, but they're not distance walkers. They're not Hokas. They're not Nordas. They're not, so I'm paying for it today.
Those shoes you put on for walking the plank, not 50 blocks in them Hatton.
No, it was a mistake on my part, but I at least they look good with my jeans,
You keep fucking up, don't you?
I keep fucking up.
I mean, I'm sad I missed the Cat Power. The Greatest is a great album. You Are Free or Moon Picks. I don't know. Both of them, they're all iconic.
I mean, I think that You Are Free I've probably listened to more, but The Greatest I got into at a more pivotal time in my life, I think, is probably the way I would put it.
I need to start DJing He War in the club.
Dude, please put on He War at the club. Please. The heads would know.
It's a little bit of an indie sleaze bop for the older heads.
It is. I think it is too. I mean, we were talking about the Manhattan video where she's on the top of the tourist bus and they're just like driving through the city, and how like I was talking about it with Katie and Kevin, because I was like, this is so genius, and it cost nothing. It's like one of those video ideas. It's just good. It didn't cost any money, because we were talking about like music videos, because Kevin did that video with Caleb that cost no money, and it's really good. And I was like, yeah, that's what that reminds me of, is that people used to do shit like that, and now it's sort of like you either do nothing or you're one of the 5 artists that can spend $1 million. There's no in between, really.
Yeah, you don't be sleaze unless you are ready to get indie with the budgets too.
Dead ass. We need to talk about the Herald Stylish as well. I've had some more time to digest, and I'm sort of having some TJ style Audrey Hobart feelings about it, where like the single didn't do anything for me, but there's 3 or 4 on here that I like quite a lot.
Okay.
And
were you swayed by the Kiss All the Time Disco Occasionally pop-up powered by American Express?
That could sway me, but I didn't. The line in Paris was literally wrapped around 2 blocks, I feel like. God bless. And I didn't use my card to get access, unfortunately.
Okay, so the single, the first one that came out, obviously you were not loving it, but then you're digging in a little bit.
There's 3 or 4 songs that are quite good, and it's still not the same. It's still not hitting for me like the rest of them. But there's a song called "Taste Back" that is very, very good.
What is that song about? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Is it about long COVID?
I don't think it is. I'll get on Rap Genius later.
I'm eating this peanut butter and jelly, and I can't taste a thing.
Well, I was talking about with Shad yesterday because he's writing the Pitchfork review, and he was like, I think that song actually kind of sounds like Phoenix, which is obviously complimentary. And I sort of hear that now. But
Phoenix is like if LCD Sound System was good, so it all makes sense, right?
But here's what really blew my top off is that I was reading. There's a New York Times story.
Sorry if LCD Sound System got laid. Carry on.
They've gotten laid. They're just underage. I was listening to. I'm sorry. I was reading a New York Times story about Kid Harpoon, the producer who works on all the Harry Styles albums since the beginning, and he's worked with a bunch of people. And it's he's. I didn't know this, but he was sort of in a band that opened for like the Libertines. Like he's very close with Florence Welch. He's like from that. He's exactly my age, he's 43. He's like from that era of London, and he's sort of talking about how he like was, he's doing all this stuff. He's doing all this stuff, and then he started seeing a therapist and was trying to figure it out, and like sort of was. I think the takeaway from the therapist was like, you should do this. You should figure out what to do for the love of it instead of like the work of it all. Like you don't have to write songs. Like you don't have to do this every day like a job if you don't want to. Is basically what the takeaway was, and he got super into modular synths and bought all the crazy shit and taught himself how to use it. So he's responsible for this. He's responsible. I think Harry started doing Molly and going to Berghain. I was like, this is sick. And at the same time, his producer had spent $250,000 on modular synths and figured out how to use them. And then they went to the studio in Berlin, and this is what we get. I think that I didn't realize that was such a part of it because the story was so like Harry just decided to do something different. It was like, I think it was really influenced by this producer he's worked with for years.
Okay, Kid Harpoon, our 43-year-old king from Kent, England. I want to know, because I have not heard the album. I'm familiar with modular synths for listeners at home. It's like synthesizers. You'll see videos of people doing it. They got all these weird wires and cables and doohickeys. Things look like they're made out of like a wooden box that they're.
It's extremely cool looking. It's extremely cool looking and seems very hard to do.
It's very hard to do. It's a pain in the ass. Requires a good amount of money, time, attention, and I'm sure meth works out well with it. But my question is, so the Harry album, I only heard the main song, and it did not sound as if you needed $250,000 worth of modular synth gear to make this. So. When I think modular synth, you're thinking, Autechre and Aphex Twin and these crazy manipulated alien sounds that can only be made by these crazy patch cables and blah, blah, blah. So does it sound as if...
No.
Okay.
No. What I'm saying to you is I think it may be the process of him learning it opened their third eye to what is possible. I'm not saying they necessarily like exercised all of the things that they could have with the technology.
Right. Okay.
I think it was more like just a different way to make music, than they're used to or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, it does not sound like Aphex Twin.
I mean, not that it sounds like Aphex Twin, but just more so, it could be a standard pop song. I'm not expecting it to sound like some insane fucking Detroit techno from 1991 or whatever, but more so just like, does it have some unique kind of analog flavor to it?
I think there's definitely some
massive plugins.
No, there's definitely some flavor to it like that for sure. I just think
a little bit of squelch.
Any of the squelch would go over the fans' heads. You know what I mean? But this one song, I think this
alternative arpeggiation.
This one particular song, I'm like, wow, this is really, really fucking good, and I was so happy to hear it.
And you said that song's called Lick Back, Taste Back. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called Get My Lick Back. It's featuring Big X the Plug, and it's good.
Okay.
It's Kid Harpoon and DJ Toomp. They kind of got together on this one.
Toomp.
It's something. Okay, it's really something.
I'm looking at the track listing. Track number 7.
Polo da Don. Polo da Don's on it.
I was just thinking about Polo da Don. So many musical mentions on this episode. It's going to be hard to choose a song.
Polo the Don's got. Ooh, God, that man has some slaps.
Okay.
Woo, boy.
Get off Polo dick. Okay. Track number 7, Season 2, Weight Loss. Do you know what that means?
No, don't know anything about it. I like American Girls, of course. It's not a Tom Petty cover. Taste Back, and there's one other one I like. I can't remember which one, but yeah. I haven't read anything about it either. I've seen a couple reviews here and there, and I feel like it's very, I love this or I hate this, which I sort of respect that kind of response. I think that's cooler than like a 6. I'd rather you be like, this is the worst shit I've ever heard, or I love this. I can't believe how good it is.
He's taking swings.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think this will ever get as much play as the other two for me, but I'm being, I think, I don't know. I'm pleasantly surprised after listening to it that there was at least a couple songs I liked.
Okay. I used AI technology to learn that season 2 weight loss is a metaphor about the common TV trope. When a TV show becomes successful and returns for a second season, the actors often look noticeably fitter and more polished, having better resources to trainers, nutritionalists, stylists, so the characters come back looking like upgraded versions of themselves.
Huh. That's funny. That's a funny thing. That's a funny turn of phrase then.
I guess is he saying that this whole time was just season 1 and season 2 starting now with the synths? Damn, bro. She's not that young.
I'm sure it's a metaphor for Olivia Wilde or something that we couldn't possibly understand.
She did come back with different titties. Okay, so as we're members of the culinary space, we should talk a little bit about René Redzepi.
I didn't read it because I couldn't care less about what is happening at Noma, but was he a mean? Are they saying he like punched motherfuckers in the kitchen?
I did not read the whole thing yet, but I have a paragraph.
Please.
A few paragraphs, but I have a small excerpt of the piece. On a February night in 2014, in the middle of a busy dinner, the acclaimed Copenhagen restaurant Noma, blah 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 blah. René orders the entire kitchen staff to follow him outside into the cold. He was shoving a sous chef in front of him, a young man who put on techno music, a genre that Mr. Redzepi dislikes.
Well. Okay,
so he started putting on techno in the production kitchen while they're which is far away from the dining room, where unpaid interns work 16-hour days performing tasks like picking herbs and cleaning pine cones to adorn the celebrated Nordic dishes. Mr. Redzepi taunted the chef over and over as about 40 cooks in short sleeves and aprons formed the usual circle around the two men. It was not the first time they had been forced to participate in this public shaming, according to two chefs present. Mr. Redzepi escalated the attack, punching his employee in the ribs and screaming that no one would go back inside until the chef said, loud enough for all to hear, that he liked giving DJs oral sex. His coworkers stood in silence until he breathlessly complied.
Bro,
then they filed back into the kitchen and returned to work.
You could have found a chick that would just say that because that's what she feels. Like, you don't have to do all that. No, that's actually fucking crazy. That's insane.
And even more offensive, we learned that the LA tasting meal that runs for whatever it is, $1,500 a head, apparently the tentpole ingredient or the star featured dish is cactus.
God, that's the worst. That's like going to Los Tacos, and that's the only vegetarian option they got. I ain't paying $1,500 for that.
I'll eat a taco de nopal any day of the week, but I don't want to spend a month's a carno on a fucking Hellcat having 7 different expressions of a cactus.
That story is. I mean, now I have to read it. I mean, I didn't know it was. I mean, I just don't.
He hit him with a little kidney shot, pissing reindeer blood for a week.
I just wonder if like I guess when this kind of stuff happens, it's been a little while since one of these came out, I feel like, but when it happens, there's usually two sides of like, this is so unbelievable, I can't understand it, and the other side is sort of like, yeah, this is how it works in restaurants. Like, it doesn't there's no sort of nuance to it, really.
It is clearly bad, but what you were just talking about of the two schools of thought, and I think it really is defined by a certain age range cutoff. And, every chef will say, especially in Redzepi's position and age, that's all we knew growing up. My boss and their boss's boss would do all this stuff, and this is what we know. David Chang has talked about it. All these other chefs have talked about it. That's just what you learned, and you're a product of your environment, and you don't do it anymore, which is some bullshit, but, blah, blah, blah. But I was served a video on Instagram a few days ago, and there's like a guy who was complaining about this video of like some hardcore band playing, and there was a girl like standing on stage with the camera all in the singer's face with this shooting flash photography, and the singer like smacks the camera away.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
The guy was like whining and complaining about the livelihood of the photographer, and the band should be grateful that they're creating content for them for free and blah blah blah. And I commented on the post saying like, sometimes you gotta smack the camera or whatever, whatever it is. And I got a lot of replies, and it is young people who do not understand how a situation like that works. And they really look at it as if you having a camera allows you to have a VIP wristband pass
to do whatever you want,
go wherever you want and do whatever you want. All doors in the world should open up to you if you have a camera. And that's just not the way I believe it should be. Half the people are defending me, and they're all, older people who are, hardcore regulars. And then the young people are saying, it's fucking bullshit, and it's really a fucked up, ignorant take that you think that sometimes you got to smack the camera or whatever, or smash the camera.
I mean, it's just sort of like, if you're going to put yourself in that position, anything can happen, and you just got to be prepared. I don't know. It's not. I don't feel either way, but like I don't feel either way about it. It's more just like, if you want to take pictures on stage of a hardcore band, that is a possibility of that happening. And if it happens,
it's the same thing.
That's just kind of
it. Video in LA every weekend. They'll take over a random intersection. They'll start whipping donuts. Everyone's partying. People run out into the middle. Sometimes a guy gets hit by a car. Sometimes you go in the mosh pit of a concert and somebody kicks you and you lose a tooth or you get a black eye. And that's sort of, what's going to happen. If you bring a camera to a hardcore show and you put it in the face of a hardcore band.
If you're on stage with a hardcore band and you're not like built like a truck or doing backflips off the front of the stage, you got no reason to be there unless you're playing an instrument. That's just how it is.
But that, to me, that's also the beauty of a hardcore show environment where it all polices itself.
Yeah,
there's no security because they can't do anything about it. It's
even when Turnstile plays Tiny Desk, somebody's doing a mosh. Somebody's jumping off. Somebody's doing a backflip.
Someone's gonna do it.
Someone's gonna do it.
And if you don't know the rules of how a hardcore show works, they'll show you real quick.
That's a cost of doing business. I think working in a kitchen doesn't mean you should get punched in the ribs. You should get made fun of for like listening to techno. That's fine.
Yes.
But the physical violence part is probably a bridge too far for even me.
That is a bridge too far. Whip them with the towel. Call them a pussy. They call you a pussy. You live to do a bump in the alleyway another day.
Making you say in front of your coworkers that you suck DJ dick is it's unfortunately very funny, but it's also that is wrong. That is wrong, and I cannot get behind that.
It's very Parker Posey, you freshman bitches kind of hazing.
It really is like. It really is hazing.
The people who have gone through it and survived it are able to laugh and call the young people who haven't gone through it pussies. But I see both sides.
The problem with this Noma thing is that it's, I would say, years late. Like Noma's not real. You know what I mean? There's a point where this really would have made waves and been a big deal. And I think now it's sort of like, oh yeah, Noma. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody's thinking about it.
Everyone is okay with sunsetting Noma and René Redzepi at this point. He's already injected and extracted all of the resources out that he's already get. I mean, he still can make lots of money for the rest of his life, but he doesn't need to anymore.
Yeah, and he's also, I mean, the damage he's done to the pinecone population is, I mean, I didn't want to get into it, but I mean,
I don't know if we're going to come back from it.
Lives have been lost. This is absolute destruction of an entire species, Jason, that grew wildly. It was free. It was a resource for all of us.
All the dickless reindeers running around the Scandinavian forest.
It's crazy. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? All right.
Yes.
How long gone? Thank you guys for listening. Thank you again to Loewe for bringing us to Paris. We had a great time.
Mm-hmm. If you want to buy my inflatable claw invite, I'm accepting offers on Instagram DM.
Between $5 and $10 will probably get him done. Also, shout out to our Montezuma family. What a great place. I really liked. I'd never been there before, and everyone
Montezuma, the wine bar.
Everybody else had, but I really liked hanging there. 2 nights in a row. It felt like Cheers by the time we were leaving.
It was our Tenants of the Trees, wasn't it?
Well, there was the guy that worked there did look like you quite a lot, which I loved.
He did. He was jeans maxing at the
He was jeans maxing.
LA Wine Bar.
He was jeans maxing. He meant a few words, very polite though, which I appreciated. Yeah, I guess that's it. We're back we have some real powerful females this week. Powerful women on How Long Gone.
I noticed powerful women mostly in the food space are going to be featured all through the month of March, actually.
Yeah, who knows, man? You know, when it rains, it pours. And thank you to all of our women.
So all that is to say, our apologies to Al and Polly in advance.
Yeah, to all of our friends that turn it off when it's a woman, we apologize. Sorry that we like to host all types of people on this show.
All of our listeners who are so straight, they don't want to hear a woman talk.
Yeah, so there's the proud, because I don't think that's most of them. Thank you for listening. HowLongGone.com is the website. We'll be back next week with more podcasts, and that's it. Thank you, Jason.
Au revoir.